Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. My name is Bernard Chang, professional comic book artist. I'm joined tonight with my co-host, the lovely Courtney, Miss Courtney.
Don't forget the miss. That's me.
Ms. Courtney. And the incomparable Mr. Jerry.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right. I'm going to do a little commission catch-up today. I got to get a couple of things finished. Namely, this Spider-Man commission that's been haunting me for quite a while. Haunting is the least of the terminologies.
Good Lord. That's busier and busier.
Yeah, I gotta finish it. Otherwise, I'm gonna add so many characters to it that it's. I just added Rhino today because I was looking at the references for the bad guys, and I'm like, well, I gotta have a Rhino in there because
he's cool,
right? Isn't he like a bad guy?
I like the horn.
So, let me see. I gotta pull this up. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Sean should be joining us later. What's Battle of the Sketches this week, Jerry?
We're in the third or fourth weeks, 4 weeks, excuse me, of the Masters of the Universe, and Mecha Neck is up for tomorrow.
Oh, so okay, the guy with the stretch neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he bad or good?
He's a good guy, but unfortunately, I did not do mine and will not be doing one.
Shame. I didn't either, so we're both shameful.
I did get a bunch of sketches out last week. Like packages. So I'm almost there. I'm almost trying to get caught up.
How's the shipping been on your stuff?
It's getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, I had to send out some of the sketchbooks recently.
Yeah.
And boy, did I not charge enough for shipping.
And this is USPS.
Yeah, it's so expensive to ship things out.
I mean, and USPS is actually usually still pretty good price, but now, yeah, gonna have to just limit it to shows.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about taking down my online shop because the shipping it feels ridiculous. Like I have to charge people like $10 to $15 shipping for a $15 book. It doesn't make any sense, you know.
Well, that $15. You're not even making as much as the USPS is making.
It's just totally not worth it for me. I got an order in Hawaii, and I think I'm losing money on the sale.
Hawaii is a different price.
Yeah, it's more expensive than like California.
That in Alaska is ridiculous.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, to get over there. But do you guys ship? Because when I moved back from Hawaii, and I had to ship my stuff in boxes, I went to the mail people, and I was like, yeah, I got these boxes I need to ship back. And then they were like, are these all like books? And I was like, no. And they're like, are these all books? And so apparently there's
there is a
different
media rate.
Shipping rate.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not even just business. I don't know if a business shipping rate is actually better than the like book, or I don't know if it's technically like educational rate, but you might be able to. That was kind of like a secret where I would have had to pay like for boxes probably like $80. It brought it down like to less than half the price.
Is that because books by nature are already more expensive? I mean, heavier than regular parcels?
Yeah, and they're heavier too. But like, I didn't have all books. I had some books, but they kind of were like helping me out to be like, if you claim these as books, it's also a risk. You know, you're risking, not that anybody's gonna like really look and see that you. This is okay. This is fraud, kind of, but I'm just letting you guys know
This
because
is
we're all
on the
family here.
internet, by the way.
But yeah, if you
What type of
need
shipping are you talking about?
it's basically I think it's some sort of book shipment.
Yeah,
Like it's
that's so that's much slower though. It's
mm, I mean I don't know.
yeah, that's are you talking about media mail?
Yeah, media mail.
I don't know if it was
Yeah.
that. May I
It's like
guess maybe it is.
I feel like media mail is me personally I feel not right doing that because it takes like 2 to 3 times as long as
Oh yeah. Well, if
Really?
that's the case, then mm,
Hmm.
I don't know if somebody ships something to me and
What about
like
overseas?
there's no media mail for overseas,
Oh,
unfortunately.
I feel like when they, people are gonna get it when they get it. I think people like especially have a better understanding for, smaller, independent creators like yourselves than they would like Amazon. If I didn't get a package from Amazon in like 2 weeks, I'd be like, where the F is my shit? But if it was like I ordered something or whatever and then I didn't get it and then I'd be like, okay, it's been a month. And then when it comes, I'd be like, oh yeah, great. Like, I don't think anybody would mind, especially if it's like, if shipping's costing an arm and a leg. Like, I feel like that'd be kind of dick to be like, where my book at when it's obviously shipped out and it's just in the ether, whatever,
wow.
trying to get to you.
It usually
I don't
takes me
know.
a couple of weeks just to pack it up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. You might as well like just let it. It'll get to them when it gets to them. It'll be fine. There's no urgency. I mean, really. Anyway, it's my 2 cents. I always have an opinion.
let me see what's in chat. Say hello, everybody. Lurky Lurk is first in chat today. Back to Lurky Lurk. Jamie O'Doe had it for a few weeks there. James Quo. Good to see James Quo. Hope you're doing well. James, did you get your I think I sent James Quo a package last week. Jamie Odell's here. Dr. Midnight. DYL Pickle. Dr. Midnight got his package. He's got another one coming because there was another sketch that I didn't find in time. It was last week. Like Dr. Midnight's package has been sitting here for a while, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna mail it, right? And then if I find the other piece of artwork, which is the Mumra piece from a stream earlier in the year, yeah. Was it earlier in the year or last year? I said when I find it out, I'll just send it out again. So Art Mike is here, Lurky Lurk, A to the J. Crispy Papa, greetings from Melbourne. Did you go? There's a show in Melbourne this weekend, right? Or is there a show? Was there a show? Was it last week? I think it was last week. Australia has these back-to-back weekend shows. Golf Boy Sunday's here. Excuse me. So is Rhino trapped in a Rhino suit? Or
Trapped?
huh?
I thought he puts it on like.
I don't know. That's what James Cole said. He's something of a tragic figure, permanently trapped in a Rhino suit.
Oh, is that true?
That's kind of hilarious, actually.
Like, how does he pee and poop? Why doesn't he just do a Jim Carrey
Yeah.
from
Really
Adult
hot
diapers,
Rhino.
baby.
Pet Detective? Yojimbo, USPS is run by a political appointee. He's been raising prices and slowing mail for the past 4 years. Yeah, so apparently the former administration inputted or put in charge of the USPS is no longer our Postmaster General, Cabon Inc. And they've been trying to phase out, I guess, the USPS and shift it more towards privatized shipping.
Oh, that's not good.
So, and Amazon's going to start charging $1 for return packages.
What?
So if you return your package, you have to pay an extra $1 or something.
I think that depends how you return it. because there's many different ways you can return something to Amazon or like claim to return it.
Yeah.
You have to give reasons. If it comes damaged, I'm gonna highly doubt that they're gonna charge you for that $1. If you say you just don't want it and it's unneeded anymore, they'll probably charge you the $1. So follow me for more fraudulent tips.
Yeah, what's with this will come back to haunt you later on in life.
I don't know about
You
that.
never know.
I mean, it doesn't charge anymore. I'm just saying, I'm imagining that being the case.
Oh, right. You were dreaming it.
And also, I don't move that often. And look, the people at the mailbox, USPS at the time in Hawaii, they offered that to me. I didn't even know about it.
Courtney, have you considered that maybe it's a hot chick discount?
I mean,
You know, hot chicks get a lot of stuff discounted or free that like normal civilians, schmoes, have to pay regular price, or if not more. You know, my ex-wife would come home. I remember she'd come home and say, "Hey, guess what? I stopped by this ice cream shop and I got free ice cream today." I'm like, yeah, you know, that doesn't happen to normal people, right? And they're so nice to me. They're like, oh, they're so nice to me. I got this for free today. I'm like, oh.
look, I feel like there's either people who really like me or really dislike me. And then if they dislike me, I kind of prefer it because it's interesting the way I can win them over.
You prefer getting free stuff versus not getting free stuff?
No. I mean, I don't think I get. Look, man, I'm aging. I feel I'm less of a spring chicken, so I don't know. I feel it, but you know, we have our own places in society that you know, the benefits we can reap in a bit. So maybe that is the case for you too. People think you're very smart, intelligent, well off, educated. I think there's different.
You think people? You're saying people think Bernard is sweet, intelligent, and educated?
Well, we're talking about an
sweet,
overall,
maybe. You mean, look at this face.
Yeah.
like an overall idea of kind of, yeah. You know, sometimes I'll get free stuff, but also people think I'm stupid because I'm blonde. So it's like there's pros and cons.
I thought blondes were stupid. I'm kidding.
And I thought Asians were good at math.
Damn. No, we're not good.
I'm definitely not.
I listened a bit, yes, for
Oh, last week?
when we started talking about colleges.
Hey, that last week it was Stefan Rue, the artist. B-Dub is here. Good to see B-Dub. DYL Pickle from SD. We got a good SD contingent here tonight. All we're missing is Dung Dude.
Oh, where's my boy?
So he was a Russian immigrant who was succumbed to radioactive testing, granting him powerful human super strength and durability. He was also given a suit of tough rhinoceros-like armor and horns for even more destructive. Kevin P. West from Detroit City. Okay. Oh, DYL has to leave. All right, see you later, DYL Pickle. Thanks for stopping by. But can he take the suit off, or is that suit permanent? That's the big question here. So in this, I've added the lizard guy. Was it Mr. Crocodile or
Lizard? That's his name.
Is that
Mr.
Lizard?
Lizard.
Mr. Lizard?
Is it? What's his name? Lizard?
Mr. Lizard.
That's one of the first first villains, right? But I mean, he was in a movie, right? Was he in one of the movies?
He's in 2 of the movies.
Is he? I'm looking at this like Google image search, and he doesn't really pop up in the like top 10, top 12 Spider-Man villains, but
But there he is in 2 movies.
Yeah. So, I mean,
What does he do? Like, what's his powers?
oh, here it is.
He's a lizard.
He was like a scientist,
So he
right?
just lies out in the sun,
No,
eating bugs.
I think he was like a scientist, and then creating like a formula, and then it turned him into like a super strength formula or something, and it turned him into
Mr. Lizard.
yeah, and he knew like Peter or something. He knew Peter Parker, I think. I don't know. I mean, Sean was the one that did the Spider-Man villains rogue gallery, or that was actually, I think, a panel he said from a book. So I think after this I'm gonna do a little coloring. Would you guys like to see a little coloring? Digital coloring?
What's this coloring for?
No, I gotta color some some of those commissions and turn them into prints. So
For which shows will you be selling these prints at?
well, I'll be in Cape Town, South Africa. I think the show is next week. No, the week after, 27th. Yeah, next week. So.
Oh man, that's fast.
Do we have anybody from Cape Town here tonight? I'll give you a special password for some free stuff. No?
What's
Okay,
the
too
password?
late. Huh?
What's the password?
I don't know. We gotta make up one. Where's Sean?
Well, he's in the
He's in the chat.
the chat, trolling people.
Any interesting news these days?
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could ask the chat a question. As I will be setting up to sell some original art on my site for like, I don't know, a couple weeks, just because I figured it's probably time I try to make some cash for the wedding. So I'm gonna have a wedding sale of artwork. And do people prefer just like an art dump where it's like you put like 20 pieces up online for sale all at once, or do they prefer like a slow drop, like 5 this week, 5 next week, or whatever, 10 and 10, whatever it is? Or does nobody even care?
That's a good question. Well, who have you seen? Cliff does an art dump, right?
Well, Cliff, yeah, because Cliff is he goes through his dealer, Felix.
Yeah.
And Cliff is very fortunate because, well, you know, he's Cliff, so he has guys offering to buy like the whole issue at a time, which must be pretty sweet.
But you're gonna do like commission drawings, right? So like.
Well, like a lot of the battle sketch drawings, some of the, you know, some old work that I've got, some pinups and stuff like that, like the Jeff Darrow cover, things like that. But you know, I gotta sell my soul to try to cover tuxedo rental.
Why don't you just buy a tux, man?
You know, I have a tux from my older brother's wedding, and it still fits.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it's just a plain black tux, and I know this sounds silly, but I kind of want a navy blue tux.
Well, why don't you use that and then get like some like brand new custom sneakers to wear? Are you gonna wear sneakers on your wedding? On the altar?
I was kind of thinking of it.
Yeah. Are you doing this in a church or in a courthouse?
I'm not having an actual ceremony. It's just going to be wedding parties.
Okay.
Parties.
Yeah, so you should just wear sneakers.
The guys
right?
in the party, the groomsmen, if you will be. I'm thinking about getting everyone in some Jordans.
Ooh, wow, nice.
Fancy.
Are you gonna do everyone the same Jordan, or
Kevin P.
everyone?
West asked, "Will she let me wear sneakers?" Of course,
That's-
she's gonna let me wear sneakers. The question is, will I let her let me wear sneakers?
Oh my god, that's true.
Wait, what was the question? If
Oh, will she let me wear sneakers?
Yeah, no,
That's
but what
I
did you
was gonna
say?
ask.
I said, the question is, if I'm gonna let her let me wear sneakers.
Oh, right. Yeah, come on, Kevin P. West. So the going back to the Jordans.
I think everyone will get the same.
Okay,
which is very, very difficult to do.
right?
So,
Because the other way is everyone
I have
gets
to
a
spend
pair.
a small fortune on them.
No, but everyone gets a pair of Jordans, but it's different Jordan. 1, 2. You get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, but it's all in the same colorway.
I think it's got to be the Jordan 3s, right? Those are the best sneakers of all time. And also the most expensive ones, coincidentally.
Are they?
But yeah. Well, if you get the good ones, like the good colorways.
Why don't you get some knockoffs?
Oh, man.
I mean, who's gonna
You
know?
wouldn't want to wear a pair of Jordan 3 white cement sneakers?
Who's gonna know?
So if I sell like 10 pieces of art, I might be able to spring for one pair of sneakers.
Hustle, man. Get that hustle.
We know anybody that works at Foot Locker?
No, these sneakers you can't get at Foot Locker anymore.
No?
I gotta like go to Fight Club and pay
Oh.
literally like, yeah, they'll probably cost me like $400 a pair or something.
Shit,
like that.
really? Why don't you just? Aren't there new releases? Or
There's a pair
recent-
of Jordan 3s coming out while you're at your convention,
Oh,
but they're the ones with the blue stripe, which are cool, and I don't mind buying them for myself just to wear around. But I don't think that would be the appropriate like wedding present shoe. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
well, who's been married recently? Do we know anybody that was married recently?
I went to a wedding 2 weeks ago.
And did all the groomsmen wear the same?
Actually, it's funny you're talking about this because that was I went with a guy I'm dating, and it was his coworker, and he was like, "I'm gonna wear my Jordans to his wedding because I heard he's wearing his Jordans to like as with his tux." And a couple other people he works with also just wore their Jordans, and the groom had regular shoes, and then when it came to the party, he switched to a pair of Jordans.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think he probably did the same thing actually with his groomsmen, but I didn't really know them, but it was fun.
Jerry, are you
Fun
gonna
wedding.
learn to dance?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, like I said, it's just gonna be a wedding party, not a thing. You know.
Well, I don't think you do a wedding dance at the church
Oh yeah.
or the courthouse.
Well, I'm
You
thinking.
could.
I mean, I don't want to say too much personal stuff about other people. But
Okay.
I was at a wedding party of someone else, and they just rented a restaurant, and basically, there was a couple speeches, and they bought everyone drinks and food, and it was actually one of the best weddings I'd ever been to. So I kind of want to do something like that.
Yeah. Well, my first wedding was at a courthouse. And then we had lunch at a fancy restaurant. And then we had dinner at another restaurant. So
And then it was brown chicken, brown cow time.
that's it.
Sean's on. How did Sean's wedding go?
Sean had a destination wedding.
Oh, we did? Where'd you go?
Yeah, Bernard was there. Mexico, was it Cancun?
Cancun.
What?
All inclusive
Holy
resort.
shit.
Before it was dangerous.
Before it was dangerous.
Yeah, back
it was
when
always dangerous.
when buying
What do you mean?
cocaine
I
in
always got my
Cancun
drugs
was
there.
easy. Huh?
Huh?
Sorry, what did you say?
No, nothing about drugs in Cancun.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm
no.
just kidding.
Did you have a
That's fun,
Sean, did
though.
you go to the courthouse and then went to the
Yeah, Well, actually, the resort takes care of all that paperwork when you get to Mexico. They have a person that
Oh.
does all that. So, yeah, it may not even be legal. I mean,
Yeah. Have you
hopefully-
checked into that? Because that's Mexico. Don't you have to get married when you come back into the States?
Wait. You didn't go to the courthouse?
They took care of it in Mexico and all the legal stuff.
Because, like,
What do you mean?
Then that was supposed to do it.
What?
You got to do the blood test and all that stuff.
oh,
What?
You were bleeding at your wedding?
Blood test?
you have to
Yeah,
do
that
a
was
blood
weird.
test?
You
So,
get-
so
yeah,
that
you
you're
get
not
the blood
cousins
test.
and you're not, like,
Well,
related,
what is
right?
for?
What?
You were worried
But-
that you married your cousin?
Isn't
Whoa,
that...
what if you
that's
got
the
there and you're
law.
like, holy shit, we're related?
Yeah, well, isn't that
That's
what the
not
blood
a-
test is for? That you're not... To prove that you're not related?
What?
Nobody knows what it's for. But
No,
they
I
told
think-
me afterwards, like, they said that we don't have AIDS. So I was like, well,
I don't think they're supposed to do, like, an AIDS test. I mean, it's not illegal to get married if you have AIDS.
no, but I mean, they said it's something you might want to know.
Oh.
You know, and
I
it just
mean, that would be a surprise if you did, I think.
Wait, Jimbo
That'll
should
spoil the
know.
wedding.
I think the blood test is when you get married. I don't think they do it anymore. I don't remember having to do a blood test when I got married, but
I've never heard of that.
I think it's to prove that you're not
incest.
Yeah, incestuous. Yeah, you're not like first cousins.
I feel like they would do that for people who need to, because I know people who brought in kind of cousins and stuff to, technically marry them for citizenship,
Oh.
but if that's not the case, then it's like, I don't know, that's weird.
Yeah.
Pinky.
You know people that have done that, Courtney?
Who had false marriages?
Yeah, that got
Yeah.
that married to their cousins.
Yeah, they don't
No,
do the
no.
blood test. They make you prove it. Like, you have to do it with them.
Actually,
in
no.
front of a
Yeah.
in front of your interviewer.
Wow.
You couldn't go into the bathroom and pee into. Oh, it's a blood test. Yeah.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
So what were the results besides not having AIDS? Anything else?
You have hepatitis.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they do that, but it used to be part of the whole legal thing about
Right.
getting married.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be. Yeah, I remember that. It's coming back to me now.
I don't remember that being interesting.
Yeah. Does anybody know?
But I mean, wouldn't you have to do like a DNA test?
Right.
for
So
that?
there's a Sean
I mean-
clone in
Oh
Mexico.
yeah, what does a blood test tell you? I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't tell you. It tells you blood
Something
type.
Tells
and
you
then
got like
other-
herpes or something.
Like you guys have a
You're like, oh, well, you have high
same
blood
level
pressure,
of
Sean.
B vitamins.
You can get married, but stay off of the fried foods.
Your
With all this
cholesterol is off
romance
the
talk.
charts.
Courtney, can we raffle off a date for you on like Valentine's Day on the stream?
Raffle it off. I guess that's.
Can we take a poll to see who wins a date with Courtney?
No, we should do
Sounds
like a blind dial a date thing.
I say
Diet?
it's like we have to do like either Tommy, Lee Edwards, or Courtney win a date with one of them.
Okay. You know what I wanted to do though? I wanted to go on. I want to teach guys how to date.
Oh.
yeah, I think that would be a big
Learn
thing,
from them.
especially like that would be a big service for people who are a little bit social awkward to
Yeah.
go out with someone with like a professional date evaluator, and at the end of it said like, well, I had a great time, but you got to watch out for this. You got earwax, and then you were mean to the waiter, and you get vital feedback, and that could be the difference of you getting married in the future or not. And no one tells you this stuff because they're too nice.
Hmm.
First of all, Sean.
Well, they
that
just
is
dump you.
Terrible. That is mean, and I wouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, you're doing them a service.
No,
That's
it's more of
important.
like teaching. It's like if I would tell them what to do to show up and be like, this is what you should do. You should take a shower. You should do whatever.
Take a shower.
Yeah, you should probably do that. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I
I
hear
thought you
from,
liked the musk.
I mean, You know, teach their own. I'm honestly teach their own. That's
What?
why I've told people, you know, there's
Teeth
guys out
thrown?
there to each their own. You know, some people might like a musk.
You do
I don't know.
yourself.
But I did help one of my friends' brothers. Like I gave him a makeover. I think I might have mentioned it before. Like, because he's so my girlfriend is his sister-in-law. So she's like, hey, I'm gonna do this for him, and he is socially awkward, kind of a shut-in, kind of nerdy. That's fine, you know.
What comic
we
books
would-
does he read? What are you trying to say?
Oh no, he was something else. A good guy though, but he had a lot of trouble dating. And he knew that, but he was very open to criticism and everything like that. So we went over to his house, and I think I took the lead on that because Christina, my girlfriend, is like also his, you know, she's his sister-in-law, and so she doesn't want to ruffle any feathers or, you know, and me, I ruffle all the feathers, and I'm like, no, you got to get rid of that. You got to, what are you doing here?
I mean, technically that's legal though, right? Sister-in-law.
Is it?
This is for educational purposes only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
So
he
wait.
had.
You just gave this guy, you took off his glasses, put on some contacts, gave him a cool haircut. And
We did give him a
slapped him on the
haircut.
butt and said, like, good luck.
No.
Go get him, Tiger.
We did kind of. I asked him about the girls he has dated. I also stole a T-shirt from him because he dated a Taiwanese girl, and it says and she gave him a T-shirt that says "I heart my Taiwanese girlfriend," and I will cherish that shirt. Mine now. I don't care. But yeah, we just I'd ask him about it.
So
and,
he
like,
did
we were
date.
at
He
his,
did date before.
a few in between, and also kind of questionable people, and but you know he described his dates, and we're like, what are you doing?
Questionable?
You know,
Is it because of the it's a date,
no, I think it's just
quote unquote date?
no. I mean, they were probably fine.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of forget like why they broke up, or what really happened. He had a 1-bedroom apartment. He had two futons in his living room, which were pretty gross. But he had no sheets on his bed in his one bedroom. And I'm like, do you sleep here? And he's like, no, I sleep like on the futon. I was like, where do you bring your girl from when she comes over? And he's like, we sleep on the futon. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, we cleaned up his place. It was dirty, and he had a great time. Like, we went out. We're like, got him new clothes. He was very open to it. It was like honestly a lot of fun. It was a very
Who paid
good
for these
day.
clothes?
He bought them himself. You know, he was like, I want new clothes, and he's like, I want a haircut. And then we're like, here, you should get this haircut. And he said, I don't want to look like a Giga Chad. If anybody knows what a Giga Chad looks like.
What's a Giga Chad?
Yeah, what's
I don't know. It's I think you got to Google it for an image. But either way, it was a good time. And
It sounds like you were just his wife for a couple of days.
pretty much that's what it is. It's kind of a woman being like, this is what women want, for the most part.
A very important service that's very much underused by the people who are single.
Yeah.
You probably for social proofing, so you know what Bernard knows what social proofing is, right?
This is
What's social proofing?
this is a Giga Chad.
Yes.
A beefy guy.
A beefy
He
guy.
didn't want that haircut, apparently. He doesn't have those muscles, so I don't think he wouldn't look like him.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
But yeah.
That's basically how Bernard looks when he's just lounging around.
Yeah,
Very
when I
true.
had hair, yeah.
I'm like, Bernard, put that shirt back on.
I mean, underneath this winter coat, that organic winter coat that I wear, it's made out of fat.
So that's the first time I learned about it, Giga Chad. So, but either way, that was like last year or something. Now he's dating a wonderful girl, and they're very happy. And he moved to actually a different, nicer location, and he's
Okay.
doing much better
He owes it all to
in
you.
life.
What's this guy's name? Let's look him up on. Let's stalk
No,
him on
don't.
Instagram.
He's not on Instagram.
He's not on Instagram. Let's stalk him on
No.
Facebook.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's even on Facebook. Let me double check.
What's his
But
name?
so his
Dox him.
let's see. Let me see if he's in. Where?
Man, remind me never to give Courtney my personal information.
Why am I forgetting his name right now? His last name's
right,
Reynolds.
she's forgetting it. Ryan Reynolds?
No, Robert Reynolds is his brother, is my friend. But the last time they were ones I celebrated my birthday
Does
with.
this guy want this
in
kind of
Vegas.
information out on the web?
Yeah, they're fine.
Does this girl
They
know
know
that?
me.
Now, did you guys also consult him on kissing and other parts of dating?
Oh yeah, like he might want to know whether he's good and bad or
Yeah.
not. Like, how is he ever gonna know?
You know what?
Oh, I didn't want to go down that road. I just said kissing.
That's on
Sean.
that's on the next girl to find out. I think we might have touched on it. I'd be like, yeah, at least make sure she's good.
Make sure she's good before you make yourself good.
Yeah. You know what? He doesn't even have a Facebook
Wow.
either. Yeah, he's all off social media,
Wow.
which I think that was kind of one of the issues when he was trying to date on like some of the apps because they're connected.
Right.
Some of them were like connected to your social media.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Raya is
Yeah.
connected completely to your Instagram. So.
yeah, it was at least this is last year, 2 years ago, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he's doing really well. And then Robert, when I was in Vegas, he like took me aside. He's like, I want to thank you, and he was like really serious.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
what? And he's like, thank you so much. And I was like,
Wow, so
Like,
look at that.
you
You made a
can-
difference.
Sometimes
Yeah, you're like in a rom-com movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you guys fell in love, and then when you saw them on
No.
a
Yeah,
date,
actually, you fell in love with him.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the twist, right?
right, you fell in
Rom-com.
love with your own work.
No. I mean, it would be rom-commy. But I did have some pictures from the whole day, and they were quite hilarious. Just
Well,
going. I
share
think we
them.
did,
Come on,
like,
let's
a
see them.
before and after. I don't think they're on my phone anymore.
Is
But
he in
they're-
chat?
yeah,
Is this
they're-
guy in chat right now?
I don't think so.
Mr. Robinson was his last name?
Roberts.
Chad Roberts?
Definitely not a Chad. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Maybe we should leave it
right.
mysterious.
Oh, okay. Either way, that's what I was kind of wanting to do. I'd be like, oh, I could go on the social
those-
media sites, and I could also have kind of a side hustle of teaching guys how to date.
Well, we're going to start with your date with one of the people in the chat here first, though, right?
I mean, if they want constructive criticism, then that's
Don't
cool.
hold back now. Don't hold back. I mean, if he smells, you can just tell him. You just
No, I thought
need
we
to-
were going to take a poll to see who wins a date with you.
No, we're gonna do like a dating game where we pick 3 guys and they get to ask questions, and then Courtney,
Bachelor number 1.
yeah, right? Because Courtney doesn't
That's
know what
cool.
they look like, right?
Oh.
I think
Okay.
that's super cool.
And then you can rate who you think has the most potential,
Best kisser,
right?
best in bed.
How are you gonna? How am I gonna do that? Is
Well,
this gonna be
at the
I guess
next-
it'll be West Coast only.
Yeah, at the next convention,
Baby.
But what if we're
I
willing to
will
fly out?
I will pay for a date.
This sounds like prostitution.
No, you don't have to put out. It's just a dinner.
That's what Jerry said.
That's only if you know
You gotta
the sparks
figure
fly. I can't control if the sparks fly or not.
I mean, it's
What
just
happens
not
between
really
two
the way I
consenting
like to
adults
date.
is
I'm more of like a chaser. Like I like to chase. I don't like to be chased. I don't like to be wooed. I like to woo. That's kind of weird, huh?
yeah. That's most girls like to be
Nothing
wooed.
weird about that.
Well, like on a first date, who pays?
It depends if I
Crispy
ask,
Papa wants
I
to
ask them
ask,
out.
does Poop Man approve of this?
He doesn't return my calls, so you know, I'm just gonna take that as a L.
Are you
and
sure you got the right number?
maybe he didn't give me the right number.
Give you a
How about
fake
that?
number.
He gave me a
That
fake-
was
Yeah. Poop Man gave Courtney a wrong number.
That's okay. I
fake
know where he
number,
lives,
wow.
so I know where he lives. That's all I gotta say.
He wants you to chase him.
So who wants to apply for the dating game?
Can we just nominate a couple guys?
I think they know me
Well,
already,
they have
and
to-
they're like, "No,
yeah.
thank you."
They have to wanna, go
They
on
know
this
me already,
hypothetical
and they're
date.
like, "No, thank you."
I gotta nominate Wildstorm just for always recommending Death Blow.
Tommy, come on.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, Tommy?
Oh yeah, and Tommy's the other sexual contestant.
Yeah, Tommy, they're making us go on dates with people.
Yeah.
So it's between you and me. They get to pick
So-
which one they want to go on a
Any
date
dudes
with you
there
or-
are interested in the bear type, then Tommy's available.
Hey, I can bulk up. I can do what needs to be done for this mission. That's dedication.
So how's the garage coming along?
Good.
How many lifts do you have? And what kind of
No.
bullshit is that? Fuck you and your lift.
Well, I
How do
don't
you
have
know?
any at the house right now. But I have 3 at the one that I work at on the weekends.
Oh, is that the picture I saw? Probably on Instagram.
Why do
You guys are
Probably.
sending each other
garage?
pictures. Tommy's sending out sexy pictures of him working in a garage.
Fuck yeah. You missed that?
If you can't afford a lift, is that why they sometimes build that pit? You drive over it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to do it. My friend Billy has a pit like that in one of his buildings. He's the guy who's got probably the biggest collection of cars I've ever met. He's not too far from the garage in Pittsburgh, but yeah, he's got a lot of cars in the woods and stuff, and then in lots of buildings, and then he eventually runs out of room and builds a new building. And
Nice.
I'm sort of like a very modest version of that, because I only built 2 more buildings on my property. But,
So you're not gonna have a pit in there.
no, they make shorter kinds of lifts now. They're not quite as stable or stuff, but yeah, they make shorter things that you can have that's more made for not super tall garages, because my ceiling's only 11 feet tall, so it's not like crazy tall. It wouldn't fit most large lifts like we have at Diaz's. So yeah, but yeah, there's drywall up. It's all insulated. It's becoming like a real place. So
Sorry,
kinda
guys,
good to-
I gotta bounce for a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
oh great.
Bye.
Bye.
Is Fletch on here tonight?
Not
I
yet.
don't know where Fletch is.
Oh, isn't he traveling like a lot?
In Italy?
He's in Italy. Damn.
It's going to
Algam
Lake Como.
Lake Como
Oh,
I
that's
thought
right.
the Lake Como was already
It's
passed.
not until. No, it's not until. It's probably not until May.
Well,
Yeah, it's not until May.
Tommy, you been to Lake Como?
No, I was almost gonna go this year, and then just couldn't get my shit together as usual.
All your boys are there, right? Mateo,
Yeah, they
Sean,
all.
Crystal.
Yeah, they all got their shit together.
So if you're one of the boys, do you know Eric Canetti?
Yeah, I know Eric.
Okay. Bernard had a big old fight with Eric Canetti once.
I had
Oh,
fun
that's
with
why the
Eric.
name sounds familiar.
What happened?
Oh,
They
you.
were arguing about like whether like those special books that are about representation and inclusion should even exist.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Special book.
Yeah.
Like children's books?
Yeah. No, the
comic books.
there's the LGBTQ book, and then there's the Asian book, and then the Hispanic theme book. So, and
what book are they comics?
Yeah, it's like the theme books where it's like Bernard and I did one about during Asian Heritage Months or something like that. And so Bernard thinks that they're a good thing, and then Eric Kennedy. What was his reason for not thinking it's a good idea?
Is he white? He's white.
Filipino.
No, he's Filipino.
He's Filipino.
Oh, really?
But Filipinos in general, they're very kind of,
white,
conservative in a way.
idea. I was just trying to be mean to Eric without him ever hearing this, so I decided to give it up.
Well, I think we're okay now.
I guess Kabong Gang said it was a disagreement, but it was very respectful the whole time.
Yeah. It was just we had a discussion about it.
Unlike that whole Tommy Lee and Jock thing. So.
I knew that you're.
Last week we talked about Jock has a blue check mark, and guess who else has a blue check mark?
Oh, Eric.
Bernard. Has
Bernard.
I have joined the ranks of the.
And Eddie has a blue check mark too.
Yeah, he has.
Hey, this you talking about on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
on
Twitter. Huh?
I have to pay. Do you have to pay for that?
Oh, I can't. Out of transparency, I think we discussed that already. But yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh my God, you do?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I think you should get it.
We discussed it.
They offered me that, but I think they want me to pay for it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, we thought about it we talked about it last week. Last week or the week before. Whether we should pay for it and to see if it makes a difference. Especially going to like trying to secure some, I guess, business opportunities overseas or with clients that aren't necessarily familiar with the comic book world all that much.
Right. That makes sense.
To see if it makes a difference or not.
Well, there is a big kind of like, like we were talking about just recently, crowdfunding stuff, for example. And you have like newer crowdfunding companies like, let's say, Zoop that we did worked with for JP's Winterman book.
Right.
And they're sort of like, they've only been around for about a year and a half. And and when you post something from a company that's not as recognizable as other crowdfunding companies like Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever, sometimes it's like their website is like zoop.gg or something.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like there is something to be said about that a blue check mark might help a company like that, like to know that that's not spam, it's not. But can anybody buy a blue check mark, or is there credentials? Do you have to sort of?
I think on Instagram there hasn't been a proliferation of blue check marks. Unlike on Twitter, I think anybody can get a blue check mark, right?
Yeah, nowadays, Twitter's totally screwed.
Yeah.
Like.
Because I'm reading like Twitter feeds, and there's all these everybody. It seems like everybody has a blue check mark.
Yeah, and they have like 10 followers.
Yeah. So, and then they put journalist as their, um, on their profile. But
Cool. Good job, Musk.
Well, you're doing Electro and not Shocker.
what? Who is
Who knows
the?
Shocker?
Who is
Everybody
the?
knows.
Huh? Was Shocker the first
Electro's
one,
the
or
bigger
Electro
one.
was the first one?
Electro's the more well-known one.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you put Stiltman on it?
Ooh,
who?
Stiltman. He could be coming up from the background. He's kind of that magic composition guy because you can kind of put him anywhere in the picture.
Well, I have Dr. Octopus's legs coming out from behind, so to not show him, but I just have you see up here above the billboard.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But then on the billboard, I have J. Jonah Jameson as a Daily Bugle billboard. So
Cool. Is
Why
this
don't you
a
add Miles
commission?
Morales?
I forgot what this is. Is this a commission?
yeah, this is a 1.5 year commission.
Yeah.
So it's getting more and more filled out as the longer I've had it. This guy's been pretty
You might be
patient.
able to stop if the guy dies of old age. You don't have to give it to him.
That's the thinking, right?
We
Or
have that at the garage a lot. There's a lot of guys who drop their cars off, and it takes so long that some of them are really old, and it kind of crosses our minds,
yeah.
like the wife doesn't want the car, or like his kids, so we might just keep
That
it at
happens often with cars, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it happened. My dad's old BMW. He just ended up leaving it, and I don't know what he did with it, but it just ended up never coming home. Which I was bummed because it was 2002 BMW, not the year. But
Wow, great car.
model. Yeah, I really want one.
Because also
Yeah.
sometimes
you
you
can get one from
Pretty
whoever you
awesome.
go on a date with.
yeah.
If they have one, they're hard to find and hard to fix up. Pretty rare.
There's a lot of characters in this one.
That was your idea.
So, Tommy, when you go on your stream date, will
It's
you
a
be?
stream? It's a stream.
Well, no. It's a date that will be obtained via the stream. What separates you from Courtney?
Can I say?
Honestly, not much.
Will you
Not
offer
much, but
free
much
artwork?
more talented. Yes.
Will you offer
Bedside
perhaps a portrait of your date?
portrait of your date. I don't know. Maybe I think about that. But
You're not showing him on.
yeah. So you're talking about like content. What's like with the different content they're gonna get? Yeah, because for one, like if my date would have to take a picture with me, then I would have to stand in the background to make my head look like normal size to theirs.
I'd have to be in the front ground because my head's really tiny.
Yeah. So like if Courtney and I were in the same place together, it would only look like we're in the same place together. I'm actually across the street.
We have weird body dysmorphia.
Courtney, what is the weirdest place some guy has taken you to on a first date?
I don't know if there's too many weird places, but he took me to the van that he was living in.
Wow.
What?
That was a hilarious date. It's a story. I can try to shorten it.
Was it hilarious because it worked, or was it hilarious because
No.
it didn't work?
It was hilarious.
You're looking at me
because
alive.
it was so bad. It was
Yeah, no
so
shit.
bad.
You load the sofa in, you go in first, you know.
Dude, it was bad. Okay, it's not even just that it was bad. This guy was one of the worst people I've ever met in my life. And I honestly usually get along with everybody, to be honest.
So why'd you go on a date with him?
I didn't know. Like, I didn't know he was terrible.
Okay, wait. You didn't know you were going on a date with him?
No.
But he was
I didn't
terrible.
know he was terrible. I didn't know he was a terrible person. but yeah, I'll try to keep this short.
Was he good looking? Is that why you went out with him?
That's
He was
why.
he was okay looking.
Was his last name
Honestly,
Robinson?
no.
Was
He
he
was.
buff?
You know the interesting thing? He was half Japanese, half Jewish,
Ooh.
and I was like, "That's interesting." And you're not terrible looking, and I honestly got a bad feeling from. I got a bad vibe, and I was like, maybe he asked me out a few times, and I kind of said no, or like kind of just was like, I don't know. And I was like, why not? Maybe I'll just ignore him.
K-pop junkie ask a good question. What kind of van? Was it a bitchin' 70s van with carpet?
Okay,
Is that white one with no windows?
It was an Astro van.
No, I'll get to that. So,
Raper van. You know what the raper van is?
it might have been.
It was the Vandroid van.
So
Tommy had a rape van.
it was.
Oh, come on. You can't just say that out of context.
That comes at the end of this story.
Oh, sorry. That was the That
Spoiler.
was the punchline. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. So first he's like he wanted to go to Pacific Beach, which is a terrible location in San Diego. It's like where all the college kids go. Yeah. So I was like, how about we get a drink in North Park? It's kind of like cheap hipster area. So he agreed to meet, and he came like a half an hour late, and I was like waiting outside of this bar. And I usually, you late, but I don't know what he was doing. Either way, I was like waiting outside, and I was already getting like worse and worse feeling about it, and even the bouncer. So I just ended up chatting with the bouncer, and he's like, hey, maybe you should just leave. And then he's like, can I get your number? And I was like, no, but
I like his style.
yeah, I like his style. That's cool. He's an opportunist. I get it. And I was like, I'll just wait. And then he ended up coming, and then I was like, well, so maybe this will be good. We go in. We start.
How late was he?
He was like a half an hour late. He said he was around the corner, and I was like literally standing there for half an hour. So that's why I started like, I'm like, well, I won't go in. It's kind of like a dark bar, and yeah. So which is fine. It was it's still bright out. It's no big deal.
So half an hour. You can be half an hour late to a date with Courtney.
I wouldn't, unless there's some circumstance. He didn't apologize or anything.
Okay.
It was pretty terrible. And it's like, you know what? If we are late, like there's traffic. San Diego's terrible. Every place is terrible. Like you can warn a person. Like he wasn't answering. I was like, oh, I'm here, and I didn't get a text back, and it was just like he showed up a half an hour late.
He thought you didn't like to be chased. That's why.
Yeah. So we go in, we order drinks, and then he proceeds to tell me, like, I was asking about himself, and he's like, oh, I'm from LA, and then he would just make snide remarks, like, San Diego's so quaint, and these things wouldn't happen in LA, and blah, 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 and just terrible person. One of the things that stood out in this is, like, he said, like, so apparently his family is the ones that created the first like ice cream mochi, I guess. I don't know which one. I don't know.
Oh,
So he
we're
was
gonna
trying
dox
to
him now.
he was trying to act like he came from a lot of money in LA. He was being very LA. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, asking about his family, do you have any siblings? And he was saying how his older sister she did like TV shows. And I remember what he said about his sister. Like he was just like, she finally got a facelift, and I was just like, you're literally bad mouthing your sister, and which I was.
What
just
if
like,
she really needed it? What if she was like burnt?
You don't get burned. It was all. Anyways, you know what I mean.
Oh.
I mean, he was just
We're gonna have to
everything he was
delete
saying
this episode, Jerry.
So we had like one drink, and I was like, you know what, I'm cool. So I was trying to get out of it, but I was actually really hungry, and I was like, I'm gonna go get dinner. I'm gonna go. And he's like, I already ate, but there's a good hamburger spot down the street. And I was like, okay, I guess this is continuing.
Wait, so was it dinner? Was it dinner only drinks, or like how did he ask you out? Like, hey, let's just grab a drink.
we were only meeting up for drinks.
Okay.
And usually that's a way to get out of like
Right.
I don't know, just drinks. I'd be like, I'm hungry. I want to go get dinner. And I mean, you know, I don't want to leave a date usually. I'm like, you know, I never had this problem. He was just so terrible. Like I usually get along and be like, oh, this, you know, it's nice to meet somebody and that's cool. They're usually not this terrible. He was god awful. Even as he was telling me like his friends don't even like him. He was, and he asked me
Did you guys
twice.
kiss?
No, absolutely not. He asked me twice what I do for a living, and that's the only questions he asked. And he had to ask it twice. I think he was on drugs. I don't know.
Probably.
So
was he high?
Either way, I was like, would be high? I don't know. Probably. I'm gonna guess so. I'm not sure. So either way, I was like, okay, I'll go walk down the street to go get food. So I go up, and you know, you go and order in the front. There's no waitress, but he like beelines it to the front, and he's like, hey, can you put on the Lakers game? And I know at that point that we went there just so he could watch the Lakers game. And I really know that because he lives in his van and he has no place else to watch it. So literally he's glued to this game, like absolutely glued.
He doesn't get to watch it very often. Poor guy lives in a van.
He comes from money, but he lives in a van and doesn't have a TV.
I think he was disowned. Like, I honestly think he was so terrible, he got disowned.
He doesn't have, like, was this before cell phones? Like, smartphones?
No, this was, like, I don't know how many years ago. 3 years ago?
Oh,
4
so
years
he
ago?
didn't have, like a smartphone to stream it?
I don't know. So he also told me he works in finance. And I was like, cool, whatever.
He's financing that van.
Right. So I go up and order, and I'm like, I'll just take a turkey burger. I don't know what the fuck I got. And then so he swings up, and like I'm about to pay. They're like, okay, it's $15. And it's like, and then they're like, oh, do you want anything else? And he comes up and he's like, yeah, I'll take a bison burger. And I just turn my head at him because I already have my credit card out, and I know he pulled that so I'd pay for him.
What? That's crazy. He's making you pay for his bison burger? Oh my God.
I mean, at that point, whatever. He bought me a drink before.
Okay.
But I was also like, he literally told me he wasn't. He's like, I already ate, so I'm not hungry. And I was just like, whatever. This is interesting. This whole thing is very interesting. So either way, we get our food. He is glued to that TV. He is nonstop looking at it, like just cheering for them. And I'm just sitting there eating, like, fine. I'm done. And I'm like, cool. And then so at that point, I forgot one thing. We left the bar. And then his comment leaving the bar was, man, there was only 3 hot chicks in there. That would never happen in LA.
Oh.
And I was just like,
Maybe he's nagging you.
He's probably right. It wouldn't happen. There'd be more than 3 girls.
No, 3 hot girls. He's basically saying they're, yeah. So I was just like, are you whatever.
Are you for real?
So I mean, that's the funny thing about the story is like this actually happened. This is hilarious.
You never got into his van, right? You didn't get into his van.
Hell yeah, I did. I need to see what that bitch is about.
Wow, geez.
I even told my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm getting into a van. I want to see this. Because he's such a
Where are your survival instincts?
Did you take a dump in the van?
Okay, so he was skinny. I could have taken him, no problem. Okay. Like, he was taller, a little taller. He was skinnier, and he even complained, or he even said, he's like, yeah, people say I look bigger in my photos. And I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. You look like a normal size. Now you look really skinny, but that's fine. He doesn't eat well in his thing. So anyway, so we're done with dinner, and then so he's like, oh, like I'm like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go out and party? Like trying to get him away from me at this point. I was like, what are you gonna go with your friends? Are you gonna go to PB? Like, you go do you. I'm gonna go home. And he was like, well, maybe, I guess, San Diego. He just kept on talking shit. So he ends up walking me to my car, and then so away I make sure, if I don't want to make out with anybody, because this is what, you walk a girl to her car, you make out, she leaves.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
That's how it's supposed to go? Shit.
Man,
So-
I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah.
What do you do then? When do you make out? When you walk a girl to their car?
Never.
It's usually like, I had a good night.
Right after the bison burgers when I make out.
During the bison burger. So I was like, a way to kind of get around that I figured out was I'd be like, hey, let me give you a ride to your car, because you said you parked far away or a couple blocks away, whatever. So he doesn't come to my side. He just goes around, and I had my SUV at the time, and there's like a big gap between. So nobody really tried. At that point, it's like there's a lot of room between us. He can't get any closer in the SUV. Sounds weird, but it works. Either way. So I take him, drive him to his car, and he's like, oh, that's the one. And it was just a couple blocks away. And it's this old VW van that's like beat up. And he's like, yeah, I've been living a van life before it was cool.
Oh.
And I was like,
Gonna make it sound
what?
like it's a positive thing.
Yes. No, he was super proud of it. He was
Does he
super
have
proud
an
of it, which is,
Instagram?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Hey, let's find him. Bernard wants to find him.
Yeah, this guy sounds
I thought
awesome.
He's terrible. He's the worst person I've ever met in my
Is
life.
he is
I'm not
he
kidding.
is he
There's
on
no-
is he on Twitch, and is his screen name I am Doodles or YOLO
I
Fett?
hope not. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. No. He was so very full of himself. So so I was like, I need to see this now. I need to see this van life for this guy who talked nothing about money, nothing about like prestige, like his looks, talk about other people's looks, and he's living this life. So I need to see what's going on here.
Life sounds pretty
Because-
good. He's got girls buying him bison burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that
wouldn't
was
get that far.
Getting
so
free rides.
Yeah, it was that.
Big
that
up
was
for
a
him.
mistake. Yeah,
got
yeah.
something
I mean,
going
yeah,
for him.
he came up a little bit. So
How long ago was this? And you're still talking about him?
a couple years ago. No, because
The
it's so
one that
memorable.
got away.
It's so very memorable. Um, so
The one you love to
we-
hate.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go into his van, and it is not nice. There's tinfoil on the windows.
Chicken
There's
bone.
like a queen mattress just laid out the back,
Wait,
but then he
hold-
also
His
has like
van is
a
big enough
low-
to have a queen size mattress in it?
I don't know. Maybe it was a full.
That
Whatever fits
van
like
is
in the back of
awesome.
like.
Wait,
It's like
did you say
a
tinfoil
92
for windows or tinfoil?
Yeah, he put tinfoil over the windows.
Oh, over the
With the
windows.
black-
Okay.
Yeah,
That's so
to black
aliens
out
can't
the-
read his mind.
So that's the funny thing. So I was like, okay, show me around, I guess. And it's like one of those VWs that have like the room between, you can take out, I think, 2 of the seats. So there's like, a boxy area, right when you kind of open the like door. So he's like, this is my kitchen. And then he had like this like kind of wire rack that was like strapped into the wall in like with bungee cord, and he had like like this like bowl of like fruit that doesn't look good anymore, and he's like, that's my refrigerator, and he had like a cooler. And then he's like, and here's my collection of crystals.
Ooh.
And he brought out another bowl of crystals, and he's like, yeah, I really like them. They really bring good vibes. And he like pulled one out of his pocket that he was wearing, and he's like, yeah, I always keep it with me, and I like rub it and stuff like that. And I was like, no crystals.
Wait, did
can
the crystal
fix your
turn
bad
into a
vibe.
rock after he rubbed it?
Yeah.
I gotta
There's
remember
like
all this.
some quartz crystals or something. So I was like, huh, and I look, and on his bed he has like this, like what looks pretty busted old laptop, and I was like, that is not somebody who works in finance. That's not their laptop. That's not what a
Courtney,
laptop.
You're
It-
supposed to love someone for what's inside.
Yeah.
Not their
What was
He's
it,
a
a Mac
terrible
Plus?
person. He's a god awful person.
Wow.
He said
So far,
nothing.
the only negative things about him are his, materialistic possessions. Which I mean,
He was being a complete asshole. Like, just like we butted heads a few
But
times. It's a
he
this
believes in
happened.
karma and mojo from the crystals. He's a dedicated fan to the Lakers.
He also
Mhm.
likes to point out who's hot and who's not, apparently, because he feels very proud of that.
Well, he's just proud of
Um,
LA.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
got
very-
something. I mean, you stuck with him. Most girls look at me and said, like, get away, as if. But then he went all the way into his van, so he's got something going on.
No. I was in it for the ride. I'm in it for the story at this
Oh.
point. My friends are happily married. Here I am, single woman, just being like, this is actually going to be a funny story for my friends to be like, I'm glad I'm fucking married because
Do you have
she's
big
having,
crystals?
she's doing this. These are the men that's out there.
K-pop junkie wants to know how big his crystals were.
I would take it. It's a small. It's probably a small. It's probably on the smaller side. So at that point, he showed me around, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna take off. I've seen what I want to see, I guess.
He sounds like
it
a
was
gentleman.
entertaining.
He offered you. He welcomed you to his home.
Yeah.
He opened up and shared his personal life with you.
Again,
Crystals.
he's a terrible person. So the last little bit of this is like I get out, and I think I told him, I was like, I was feeling under the weather that week, so I was kind of like, I'm gonna go home, not feeling so great, but great to meet you. And that's when he grabs like a gallon of like distilled water, and he's like, that's why you got to shower with distilled water, you'll never get sick again. And he holds it up, and that's when I
giving you
realized
life advice.
that's when I realized this man
wanna
probably
see a
hasn't
wet
taken a
t-shirt.
real shower in God knows when.
Hey Bernard, here's a question. Do you look at
Sorry.
portfolios at all?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Who's the question from?
who asked
I think we talked about this last
YOLO Fat?
YOLO Fett,
YOLO
who
Fat,
is
yes.
apparently the owner of this precious van. That
This is YOLO Fat we're talking about.
Definitely not.
Welcome to the stream, YOLO Fat. Yeah, man, but you gotta upload it onto the Discord. But probably not
These
today, though.
portfolio, they go on for sometimes 2 hours,
Yeah.
and they can be very honest. So.
And then it's gonna be
Good.
left on the internet for everybody to see. So that's the risk that you take. All right, let me do some coloring. So have you seen this guy already since?
No, I've never seen him again. Actually, I saw him on a dating site, I think, after that. And I was like, oh my God. And
He's a multimillionaire now.
he's definitely not. He's still living in his.
Wait, so you met him?
But
You
you
met
know-
him on a dating site, or you met him like
on a dating site.
you met him like online, or how did you meet him?
Yeah, I think on one of the dating
Oh.
sites.
Which one? Hinge, Tinder,
JD.
I don't remember actually. Definitely.
AsianAvenue.com?
Is that still a thing?
No.
I don't think they allow me on there. I'm white.
Oh.
It was too many years ago now that. But what I actually realized is I think he goes, because he says he goes to PB a lot, which
Mhm.
is a party place, and I think that's what he does. I think he preys on girls there. Like I realized that with his van, because his van's right there, and he just gets. He
Why
just
do you have to
waits for a
say
while
it so
girls get
negatively?
wasted.
He's just
Because
introducing
that's the
himself.
vibe I got from him. It's like he waits till somebody's like really, 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 really drunk.
It's so the people
This
go
guy's
either
terrible.
drunk or curious.
He's
No,
just-
he's
What if he's
god
just
awful.
giving drunk people rides home so that they get home safely?
No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. I mean, like, yeah, sorry, that was long. I was trying to shorten it, but that also, the amount of other bad things he actually said was like shocking, where I was like, I don't
Can you
even know what to
name
say to
some
that.
of these horrible, horrific things he said to you?
He dissed his sister.
His sister, he would complain about people being poor. I mean, other than like the whole money thing and the whole good for all this stuff. I mean, it's a good amount. It was
Oh,
a good amount. That's probably the worst date I've ever been on.
worst date. Oh, okay.
I think so.
Curiosity killed the cat, remember?
Sean, what was the worst date you've ever been on?
Me?
Yes.
No. Well, I don't think there has been very many, so at all.
There's only good dates
You've
when you
only
go out with
dated
Sugar
your
Sean.
That didn't really get around that much. I think Bernard knew my other.
I peed off of a
Other-
bridge during
yeah.
one of Sean's dates.
Yeah, he managed to pee on like 20 cars with one stream.
That's that's talented.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
it
didn't
was-
say
We were on
anything.
an overpass, yeah, and then you stuck your pecker out over the bridge, and then there was like traffic just rushing down underneath.
Oh, there's no
Yeah, that was the
restaurant
highlight of
nearby.
that day.
Yeah, I was the third wheel.
So was that the first date or
No,
The only.
okay?
no. I think
last.
I think Mr. Chen had already had. I think he already consummated the relationship at that point.
It's Bernard has had like hundreds of dates, right?
Jerry, what's your worst date?
I don't know, because when they start off pretty bad, I just kind of like I take off. I just be like, all right, I gotta go, you know.
So wait, how
See you later, alligator.
taking off then?
Like, hey,
I
I
just
gotta
say
go.
like, oh, this is not going anywhere. I'm going home, you know.
And but like, what was so bad that you were like, I'm gonna bounce?
It was just
Since this van dude sounds really cool to you, I just want to know.
He finds out that the girl lives in a van. He's out of there.
No, it sounds like he'd be into that, but it sounds like you have higher expectations for girls than for guys, or
me.
no? I mean, like, what made you be like, I'm not gonna continue on with this date anymore?
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, look, I think everyone is amazing, and I just like to, hear the full story. And then sometimes, it just doesn't work out.
I think usually that's the case. I feel like guys don't usually go on a date with a woman who is that terrible, maybe.
you never know.
Well, I do.
What?
Bernard, have you gone on a date with a woman that would like talk nothing about good looks, money, that stuff?
Yeah, I've been on some bad dates before. I've been on one date where I met a girl on an app, and we went to dinner, and she just kept ordering food, right? And so it was one of those dinner. I don't know. There's a name for it. Where
It was Golden Corral.
no, it was at
That's a scam.
it was at a sushi restaurant.
Golden Corral, that's dope.
I should have taken her to
Wait.
Golden Corral.
Sushi?
Yeah, it was like a sushi. It was Sushi Gen. That's my favorite sushi restaurant. And she just kept ordering food, and I was like, I'm full, and I'm like, I'm not like a skinny guy, and I'm already full. And she's like, I need more. And then
That's a turn off.
I mean,
yeah, and I was like, wow, this girl can eat. This is gonna be expensive dating this girl.
I guess if she's hungry.
But I think she really just went on a date because she was trying to get a free
She was
meal.
hungry. She was just hungry.
No, there
Sounds like Courtney.
was an app. I mean, there was an article, like a magazine article, a few years
I just
ago.
wanted a burger.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Get that dating app. I'm hungry. Get that dating app.
no, there was a magazine article a few years ago where there were these two girls that were roommates in New York City, and they're both like fairly young, in their like early to mid 20s. Obviously, like they were working, their jobs weren't paying them a ton of money, but one of the girls was like going to all of these really expensive restaurants around town. And so the other roommate asked her, like, how are you able to afford to go to these restaurants, to eat at these fancy places when, we're both making, the same amount and not too many, and it's not like a lot. So and the one girl's like, she just goes on these dating apps and goes on dates with these guys. And like a lot of them are like finance, You
Who
know?
do you call?
Well, they
Like,
just
oh,
go. She just
yeah.
goes to dinner. Like, you know, the guys are usually gonna be like trying to impress the girl and then take her to like a super fancy restaurant, and then so she gets to and goes to eat dinner, and then that's it. And then she goes home afterwards.
Oh, I did go on a
feel
date
like-
with this one girl before. She asked me to meet her at this super expensive steakhouse. So,
What?
so because it was quote unquote close to where she worked, and we were meeting, after she got to work. So when I heard that, I giggled, and I intentionally showed up late, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm not there. Why don't you meet me here?" And it was at this cheap like Irish bar.
Did she come?
Yeah,
Oh. That's weird. I mean,
I'm like, I'm not going there. You
weird.
crazy?
Yeah, but still, I mean, so that's happened. One other time, I went out with a girl, and she was smoking. I couldn't believe I actually got a date with this girl. But she wanted to go karaoke singing, and I was like, all right. And we ended up at a bar that had karaoke, but it was one of those Western karaoke's where you're like singing in front of the entire bar of people.
Oh.
Whereas like, the Asian karaoke's, it's like a private room, right? With your friends. So she goes up and she sings a song and she does well, right? And then other people are going up and singing. And these are obviously people that have practiced singing these songs at home. And they would go to these bars and it's basically a performance. So
They're regular.
yeah, and the regulars, yeah. So, and they're high-fiving each other afterwards, and I'm thinking like, how hard could this be, right? And because when I was young, I was in the Miami Boys Choir,
That's right.
right?
What? Miami Boys Club?
Yeah, when I was fifth grade, sixth grade, I was in the Miami Boys Choir.
But that was before puberty.
Before puberty, yeah. The summer, I auditioned, got into. They had like this group of people showed up in elementary school one day, and they're like, "Who here can sing?" I'm like, "Okay, I think I can sing." We went into a room and they had a person playing the piano. Like, all right, sing after these notes. I would sing, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you can kind of match the notes." So then I had to, I auditioned, I think, properly for the Miami Boys Choir, and they signed me up for like a summer workshop thing where you go and you dance and, do jazz hands and all these things. But then that summer my voice started changing because of puberty, and then I dropped out.
And you did jazz hands while your voice was cracking?
You should keep on doing jazz hands.
So, I mean, it was like musical theater. Yeah. It was like a performance and singing, and so...
With the jazz hands going.
So anyways, I pick a Tom Jones song because I'm thinking like, what song can I pick that's kind of like, So the song that I picked was "It's Not Unusual." Have you guys heard of that song? It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. And I'm thinking like, oh, this song, it's probably not that long, right? So, and it's only like the same words pretty much over and over again. So how hard could it be, right? And sure enough, it starts, going, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. But then I missed a couple of notes, and then I tried to hit like the
I mean, it's karaoke. You
Yeah.
just do what you gotta do.
but it was the longest like 2 minutes of my life.
Were you sweating?
I was sweating bullets. I was like, my head was like boiling hot from embarrassment.
Was she impressed?
We didn't have a second date. So
Good effort. Good effort.
That's an interesting first date. I'm not a fan of like any places that you don't actually talk. Like that's almost. I mean, it's loud and it sounds like she was paying attention to the karaoke. It's like going on a movie first date.
no, well, we went to dinner first, and then like we went to grab drinks afterwards. And so the drinks.
Here's a question for you guys. What's the most amount of dates you've gone on with one single person and never hooked up with?
Oh. I don't know.
Probably like
How many times have we hung out, Bernard?
That's years. Talking about years here.
Is that weird?
I mean, what do you consider like at that point it's like less of a date and it's more like
You're just friends.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're just your buddy.
Especially if you're
now.
not
Yeah.
making out. If you're not like
It's like your gay friend.
So wait, Courtney, how, like, okay, so you're saying if it's a date, you're making out like on the first or second date then?
if I
Yeah.
like the guy, then yeah. I mean
This stream date just got much more interesting.
yeah, sure. I like him. I mean, what? People don't make out on first dates? Is that weird?
If the lights are on,
For me, it's weird.
Hey, if it's going real well, it's sometimes you gotta test the goods and see if they're worth a second date. Sometimes too.
Look, I'm not talking about the fastest you've done anything. I'm talking about the longest, like before you did hook up.
Oh,
2
I
days,
don't
right?
know.
Like if every date you go on ends up with the guy's tongue in your mouth, I'm sure the date you're going to have on the stream is going to be very, very fun for whoever wins it.
Hey, making out's fun. I mean, this is fine. What's wrong with making out?
Hey, that's a great answer.
I mean, fun and making out. And you've seen me make out with girls before, Jerry.
what?
I haven't yet.
What?
Jerry was right there, being like, I think you were taking a video.
Oh, please share, man.
You've seen it's faking out. Yeah.
What?
Bernard, you were supposed to come out that night. And you didn't
What?
come out. I don't think you're feeling good.
Oh, that was
I've seen you
outside.
in it.
That was downtown.
You and 2 guys in an infrared sauna. I saw that picture.
What?
That's the classic. Yeah, I mean, girls are nice. I don't.
Yeah,
I
they
can't,
are.
I'm not like super bisexual, like, but they're fun to make out. They got like soft lips and.
I gotta put an
Which
over
is awesome.
18 thing on the stream here.
Oh, like people under 18 don't make out. I'm sorry, the younger generation's very open. I think more open to like their sexuality or like.
just wanted
you know.
watch Spider-Man being.
Yeah.
We're indoctrinating, yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to learn about art. Now I'm learning about life.
Jerry took a lot of pictures and videos that night, I think.
What?
Yeah.
I always miss.
I think she was a lot of she was a handful of a person. Like she was getting a little out of control. I think her boyfriend took her off, and I kind of felt bad for him because he seemed to. Anyways, so that was a fun night.
Damn, I missed it. Should have hung out, man.
Jerry, you still got the video?
This video?
That was not me. That was Michael with the video.
Oh.
Michael has the video?
Yeah, I believe it was Michael.
Mm-hmm. I just remember like making out, and I just hear Jerry in the background, kind of drunk, being like, "Oh man." And I was like, "This is kind of weird, but okay."
What?
I could be into it. Anyways, sorry. What arts and stuff?
Art. Let's get back to art. Let me
What is this covering you're doing?
huh?
Where the ladies at?
Let me see. Let me import this file. I'm gonna start
Oh,
coloring.
there's a Wolverine t-shirt there.
Yeah, did you see that? Here. Are you guys selling this?
Oh
That was Bernard's idea. That's pretty good.
Oh, I want one. Oh, it's in yellow too. That's dope.
So the
I
front, the
want it.
front and the back, right?
Where can I order one?
Oh,
These are all just concepts at this point.
Come on, Sean. You can do it.
So there wouldn't be any white there, right? It would be just black ink on a yellow shirt. So then the yellow will go through his face and his eyes and everything.
yeah, probably.
Or you could have white. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
But I would like
kinda
it. With
like it.
just black.
I'd like to see this just black on a color.
Yeah.
Just see, just
It'll be cheaper too.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
It looks like.
Keep the white out of it.
Oh, keep the white out of it. Let me see. Okay.
Well, you don't have to do it now. Come on.
No, I can,
You just gotta make a bitmap too.
here, I can do it right now. Boom.
Oh, that's a nice Batman.
Ooh.
Boom. This is what it looks
Oh,
like.
wow, that was fast. Okay, sold.
Oh.
That's cool. I like it like that.
I would think
Yeah.
you might want to draw this line just to connect it.
Oh, okay. You mean his collar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the collar is on the other side. Right? So you might want to do that because the collar on the other side.
We're
Part
doing,
of that
like
is-
the hairy chest.
Oh.
Like he's not wearing a shirt, just the mask.
Mm.
Well, I think because in the
That's
back,
cool.
the thing with the hair.
Yeah, I like the hair on the back. That's why I say give him a hairy chest also. You can get Tommy
so
to
is
pose
that-
as reference.
I always thought it was like not. I thought that was skin on his neck. But that's costume.
No, it's not skin.
Okay.
Hey Bernard,
Hmm?
there's a question for you.
Yeah,
From Jamie Odell. What issues of Batman did you work on? Do you remember by chance?
was
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And that was like a couple years worth.
2 years.
You never actually drew like Bruce Wayne. Well, you know what I mean.
Well, Bruce Wayne was in the Batman Beyond,
Yeah.
but not the actual Batman book. No.
You just did
He
covers.
was a Monkey Prince.
Batman showed up in Monkey Prince, yeah. So, let me see here. Let me create a comic book page. This is 4125 by 6263 at 600 DPI.
600.
But I think I need to. Yeah, I need to add. I don't know if I like this because it might be kind of blurry. Let me hold on a sec. Let me check something. I want to make sure I'm not showing anything. Oops.
Hey Sean, did you ever have a job at a fast food kind of place or anything like that?
No, never did. Why? Did you see an Asian person that looked like me?
Yeah. Last week, I just thought maybe you were picking up some extra hours. No, when I was a kid, I worked at Burger King for a little bit, and when I was at work, and all of a sudden somebody drove, like we were the Burger King was right next to McDonald's, and then all of a sudden a car drove up over the hedges of McDonald's slammed into a car in the drive-through of Burger King.
Dope.
And I was like, everybody's like, holy shit. And then we looked out there and it was my grandma.
Oh, jeez.
They're like, Tommy, it's your grandma.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, she did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Can't wait to get old.
What do you guys
I wanna
think of
do
the
that.
gargoyle? What
You
color
can do
should
that
the
shit, too.
gargoyle be?
Fuck yeah.
fucking drive and crash into things because I'm 50.
Fuck, I'm 50. That's still too young. Once you get
Tommy,
like
there's a
70.
question for you from James Quo. Did you go to the Coda Moto GP race in Austin this past weekend?
No, I decided that I've got some other trips coming up and stuff, so I didn't want to spend all my trip idge. Yeah, I'm trying to space it out, and yeah, I watched it obviously, but maybe next year. I want to go to another to a race in another country. That would be really fun.
Go to Italy.
Yeah,
Go to
man, I've never been to Italy. I'd love to go.
Yeah, that's a great. I feel like they just do it big there.
Lake Como.
What area is that? It's kind of near Florence, actually. No, it's the MotoGP over there.
Yeah, oh shit, I can't remember the spot now.
Mugello?
Yeah, that's
Or is
it.
it that? Yeah, Mugello. Yeah, it's a nice track. It's gorgeous.
I love the way they decorate it too, like the big helicopter shots and the way they
Yeah,
paint it. It's awesome. It's beautiful.
I didn't even know. I wasn't keeping track, but I didn't know it was already the Americas coming up. Whoops. I want to make it to MotoGP sometime.
It was pretty early this year, so
Yeah, that's what I feel.
So that was only their third race so far of this year.
I saw somebody crash.
Oh,
One of the
everybody
Japanese.
crashed. It was
Japanese
crazy. Everybody's out. It's
People are crashing more, aren't they? I feel like it's more. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, then they started this thing now with Saturdays not only is qualifying, but they started this new thing where they're doing sprints. So you have the regular qualifying Q1 and Q2, and then depending on how well that went, then the place on the grid that you end up at is also the place where you start on these sprints. And the sprint is not quite a sprint; it's basically half a race. So if a race is usually let's say it's 22 laps.
Yeah.
A sprint is 11 laps, and the points go towards your total.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, and it basically gives you another thing, like it gets people in the seats on Saturday.
Oh, that's true.
So, and it is really exciting, but boy, it's I feel bad for everybody involved.
Yeah. I mean, it's
you have two bikes for the weekend. You let's say you mess up on any one of these things, and you're screwed.
You're wrecked. Yeah, you got nothing.
So it's freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James was mentioning the Sepang track in Malaysia would be pretty awesome.
That would be awesome.
I really like the one that they already went there, though. The one in Portimao in Portugal is the really hilly one. It's awesome. That's my top choice, I think, maybe.
I think I still have a couple connections that I can wiggle in.
All right, thanks.
I know some of the mechanics. The mechanics are great. They're hilarious. They're either Italian, British, or Japanese.
And they all live in vans.
Yeah, but when they all visit prostitution parlors wherever they go. But really good guys. They're hilarious. I used to tease the Japanese ones when I was younger. Just say dirty things to them in Japanese, and they're like, "Who the fuck?" Oh, good times.
Bernard, this is Procreate, right?
Procreate, yep. I'm changing the color of the windows because I'm thinking I want it to have like a cooler feel. But
a really cool looking background.
What is this for?
This was a commission, but I'm coloring it to make a print.
Oh yeah, it's a good print.
So I figured this could go into the rotation for a Batman print, right? And then, it's an angle
It's
that a lot of
interesting to
people don't
watch the
see.
process.
Mm-hmm.
How it's different but similar to Photoshop. It's kind of cool to watch the differences.
Yeah. Well, some of the steps are very similar. Although I am more familiar with Photoshop, so this is still a little.
You find it takes you longer or it goes faster? Depending.
I still like coloring because in Procreate, when you resize a lot of stuff, you don't get it blurs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
like that part.
Yeah.
And then I'm still not exactly 100% familiar with all of the aspects of Procreate in terms of coloring. I mainly use it as a tool to draw.
Draw. Yeah.
So
I think more people like the rougher, like this looks like more of a sketch that it's colored in, or like it looks more not unfinished, but it looks a little different than your normal art, and I think that's becoming kind of like a more popular look and feel for visuals instead of something that would be like absolutely cover worthy. So
Do you hear about that new? I think there's going to be a show that's primarily just original art and comic book artists that comic art fans is putting on. So Sean Gordon Murphy is going to be one of the guys, and he appeared on Comic Art Fans YouTube channel, and I think they were going to start off he's going to take on some commissions for that show. So here are the prices, right? He has 8 slots that he's going to do.
Oh boy.
They're for $10,000 each. And then like as soon as he mentioned it, like a couple minutes later, the slots were filled by the people who were in the chat. So it's $80,000 just in that time. But
and they're for remarks.
Cool. But that's kind of cool. Just like a show just for the art collectors. It's sort of like Lake Como, except it's going to be not as snooty in the States.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it can be not as snooty. I mean, there's going to be a lot of egos in that room.
Yeah. But so some of those events are like you gotta do the commission before the show.
Yeah.
But anyone who gets a commission, there's like a room that you can actually meet with the commissioner and talk for a while, because that's part of the purchase is also time with the artist to talk about whatever.
So it's an experience.
Yeah. So it's going to be in Orlando.
Fuck that, man.
When is it?
It's so close to you. I think they're starting up next year.
Oh, so he's already picked up all the commissions for the convention.
Yeah, he has to do 8 commissions, and then I mean that $10,000 each, man.
At $80,000, he's already made $80,000.
Yeah, well, he hasn't done the drawing yet. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we're talking about. That style, which is sort of less polished and more sketchy. Like that's the energy from that type of drawing seems to be more popular now.
Oh, Beef Skellington, you asked when I was going to be on the Ink Pulp show again, and I just recorded one with those guys. So with Sean and Mateo, and it was pretty funny. So Eric Kennedy was not there, so we had a better time.
Eric Kennedy seems to be taking over as host of that.
Oh, really?
Program.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, I like to, especially Mateo and Sean. I'm pretty comfortable with. So
Mateo's hilarious. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is funny.
Where's Mateo based?
He's
Parma, Italy. Right?
yeah.
Mm. See, I really want to color this in Photoshop. I really don't like coloring on Procreate. Because I want to, like...
This almost feels more like it reminds me of coloring with markers or something. You know, like
Yeah. And
I don't know,
also,
something.
I don't know. It's just, I don't really like the brushes as much. I mean, I'm familiar with certain brushes on Photoshop, and some of it is just, I just haven't really sat down and learned Procreate.
Yeah.
You know, I know enough to do drawings, like black and white drawings. But the color is, it's just...
Oh, is it the lasso tool that's missing?
the lasso airbrush tool, like a burst. I like to use the burst a lot.
Oh yeah, the radial gradation.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
Of course, I show up to the Ink Pulp podcast late though, because that's how I roll.
Did you do? You should do a fart talk with Mateo.
Oh, you can't avoid it with that guy.
Does anyone know how to unlock a layer on Procreate?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Man, I don't know. I've never used it.
Don't you like push it left?
Oh,
Don't tap on it.
there we
Push it
go.
left
Thank you.
or right.
Yeah, okay, it's unlocked now. Okay.
I don't know how I pulled that out of my ass, but
Wow.
I honestly don't. I've only, I guess I've tested Procreate enough, but I still feel like I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I really haven't thought about this piece. All right, let me not work on this piece. Let me work on the other one.
That has a real Across the Spider-Verse vibe to it.
Thanks. Okay, let me import this
Sean,
one.
why you always gotta label everything? You know, like, it's like this, it's like that. You know, I think it's just like its own thing, man.
Oh, are you colored this one too?
It's been flattened, yeah.
That's got a very Akira vibe. That one. Like,
So usually,
great
Got a
Batman.
lot of Edvard Munch there.
so there's different layers. There's different methods of coloring. You know, having the line art up top first, the very top layer, and then working the colors underneath. And I've kind of found myself these days more into having the color and other layers on top of the base line art layer.
whoa.
How do you do that?
And that way...
Well, what's the difference though?
Well,
Like while you're working, or
yeah.
like
So
to
right
see
now
it?
I have the
Yeah.
line art layer at the very bottom layer, and then there's a flat layer. So this is just the basic colors. What's white is what's blue is blue, red is red. So this one I'll probably change. I want to change the again, make it a nighttime sequence. So if I can change the orange, there we go. I'll change the orange to a blue.
Wait, so when you upload this, you just have like a flat. It's just you just use your flat line art, and then so you don't actually do any line art in Procreate, yeah?
No, I do, but this one,
Oh, okay.
this was a commission piece, so this was traditionally drawn.
Yeah.
And then,
But it's like the black lines around that.
so this is the okay. These are the layers. There's a black and white line art layer.
So when you upload it in, it already looks like that. Do you do any adjustments or? That's what we saw. Yeah, but you don't do any adjustments, right?
No, I do. I mean, once it's scanned in, I'll do some cleaning up
Okay.
digitally as well. There's some cleanup. You can see some dots here.
How long do you spend cleaning up the scan?
And I cleaned up some of this thing. I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Depends on how much cleanup it needs. So here, like, I added some more in the tire. You can kind of see it.
Well, you make the whites whiter and the darks darker white, right?
Yeah.
To play with the levels at the very least.
And then
you gotta clean up that schmutz.
But to clean up, yeah. So that's if I'm doing the line art, like black and white for like monkey prints or whatever, I'll also draw the panel borders in Photoshop or Procreate. And then, there's 2 explosions. So
Don't you got no woman to do the cleanup for you?
no.
Damn.
Bad.
Damn, Sugar Sean.
Sean. You're able to make the worst one of the night.
What color should this tire thing be?
Well, we are better at it anyways, so.
So usually this is professionally flattened. They have guys that just flatten pages for the colorists.
Like those people in third world countries.
Well,
Damn, Sugar
You
Sean.
mean the women in third world countries?
Yeah, like flattening village in China. You just send it over there. And they flat it for like 30 cents a page.
I mean,
Damn,
no, I
man.
mean they get paid more. I mean, this I'm paying like $30-something a page to flat.
Right. But it goes to Korea, right? It goes to
This one's
America.
Brazil.
North Korea.
There's different flatters everywhere. So I mean, it's not that bad because if you think about it, if you flat, and actually in Procreate, I just saw like a Instagram story where Procreate has this thing where you can. Here, let me see if I can do that.
What's the point of flattening it?
So you get all the base colors in there, and then
You can just do the cool
Define.
effects.
yeah.
It defines the spaces for the color so that you just come in and just choose the color. I mean, you choose the exact color, but someone did all the outlining for you.
See,
I have
like
a really hard time working that way because it's hard for me to see color in there already, like in the way, like I like seeing it completely fresh, and then all of a sudden when I see color in there already, it's like, oh God, like it's in my way,
So you
It's
do
really
all of your
weird.
flatting?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so time consuming.
Yeah, well, I kind of like draw the color in.
Don't you got no
Like
woman to do that for you?
don't you have 2 kids? That's what I thought you have kids for.
They're too old. They know
They
better
moved
now.
out now, yeah. That actually looks really cool, like so simple like that, with just the black, white, and red like that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so that's flatting itself. You just
So
define the
Procreate has
borders.
this thing where you can just drop if you use the line art as a reference layer, right? Then you can just create another layer on top and then just drop colors and it'll basically flatten it for you. So it's a quick way of
Can't they do
flattening
it without flattening it though? You can drop color, right?
it. You could do that in Photoshop too. There's another thing where you can do kind of the same thing where you paint bucket it in. But then then there's a filter where you like expand or something and it'll fill in. Like right now, this is the flat layer,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah.
It's all these shapes. So the line art layer is right above it. Sorry, right
Whenever I've
underneath it.
tried to do that in Photoshop, my drawings are never clean enough that I can't
Yeah.
like.
I can't imagine it
Yeah.
work for you. You have such a sketchy style. I mean, yeah.
Hey, Bernard,
Huh?
when you're coloring a piece like this, what's your thought process? Do you ever think of like for the color combinations? Do you go through like opposite colors, contrasting or
Complementary, contrasting.
yeah. Or do you like play off of like sports colors? Because I do that a lot too.
Well, a
This
lot
is
of
heavy
sports
color
colors
theory talk.
are what is that called? Not complementary.
Contrast.
Contrast
Is it?
colors, yeah.
Yeah.
So like the
Because
Mets.
shouldn't you work in some green technically?
Well, There's green here, like
Well,
with
that
the
blue is leaning towards green
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, and then
It
there's
should be like a
the
Christmas
explosion
composition.
being red. Don't you think that makes it a little?
well, I didn't
Red?
flatten this. I didn't flatten this. Somebody else flattened
Oh,
it.
okay.
All right, so I'm going in now. I'm changing the colors to where, to kind
You're
of.
making it good.
Well, I'm
That-
kind of
that's
reselecting
what
the
I mean. It's
colors.
hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to go in like there's already color there, and
Yeah, I agree with Tommy.
it's hard to like go. Yeah, how do I now like?
Because
You
now
know.
you're biased in a weird way.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have it flatted, then you can actually color a page in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Wait, so
Just-
you're just coloring on one layer, right? This is just
I'm
one
only
layer of
I'm only
coloring.
going basically in this layer. This is the color layer.
So what I like to do sometimes, because starting off on Procreate, I realized I was using like very bright colors that like, and I really wanted to get into more like grungy or kind of different colors. So I played with I would do different layers of coloring and then play with the curves. So of like the different shadows. So I was able to kind of change it that way instead of just dropping. So if you were to change like the curves or something on this, then it would definitely like alter every single color on that. But that's that. I find that like a kind of fun thing to do because I can actually change that one layer of all the colors and kind of once the color is down. So I like to do that.
Yeah, they have it in Photoshop, right? The versions or something like that.
I've never
Or
used Photoshop.
It
for
shows
art.
you like it shows you like 15 different versions of it.
Oh yeah. I've never used that.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that?
Usually, I'll go in and use like adjust, like adjust hue saturation and kind of like a little bit like what Courtney was talking about.
Yeah.
That explosion's got to get paler, Bernard.
Huh?
The explosion behind the bike.
It's got to get what?
Gotta get
Paler?
Paler. It's too like.
What do you mean?
It's
Less
competing with the bike
saturated?
too much.
It looks better now.
Yeah, it looks better like this already.
That's tough because that bike is so bright red, and then explosions are like bright
Yeah,
red.
Yeah.
orange.
and the uniform's bright
We're
red.
looking at like
This flatter is.
This splatter is high.
Yeah.
Well,
we're
look,
looking
I mean,
but also like we're seeing a video stream from a camera
Yeah.
of his tablet. We're not looking at like super
What
accurate
exactly
color
is
here.
it?
well, I mean, the thing too is like the flatter. Their job isn't to pick the colors per se, right? Their job is really just to get all
Well,
the
they define
shapes.
Easier for
space,
you.
Yeah,
right?
get all the shapes in there, and then I go back in because I'm not. Yeah, again, they don't get paid enough to establish the color theory unless I establish a palette for them, and so a lot of times, I'm just sending stuff over. I'm like, okay, just can you get the shapes in there for me, so that I can go back in and do what I'm doing right now and reselecting colors. So
It looks like Beef Skeleton is volunteering to flat for you
really
for free.
for free. Okay.
Ooh.
That's a tedious job, though.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
important
and,
to.
and you can definitely suck at it.
Yeah, it's important to get right in the lines because another secret that I'm going to do here is in between the line art and the flat layer, I'm going to add a new layer, and this layer I'm going to use the layer option of screen, and then I'm going to go in usually with a brown, and now I'm going to, you guys look at this, color hold everything that's not black. You see the difference?
Oh, I want to do that.
Right? And then,
Oh.
Hello?
So that your flatter has to be really on point then.
Yeah, it has to be right on point. Otherwise,
Yeah, you'll see the chops.
and then I have to go back in and like see, like right here, you kind of missed the outside shape of the jacket. So I gotta go back
I
in.
mean, she.
Oh, right, sorry. So I gotta go back in and select that, and then hit that.
Yeah, that would drive me up the wall.
Rather than doing, why don't you just do a layer on top of the line art, and and like anchor it to the line, so it only affects the line art, and then it colors on the line art. And
Huh?
Channels.
no, it's in layers. I mean, I'm
Oh.
talking Photoshop though, so but yeah, like it wouldn't like lighten the shade. It would actually make it a color, you know, like so it could
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
whatever color. That's how I do it.
So what would you
It's like
do? You make a different. Oh, you're using layers or channels or?
It
a
wouldn't be
layer in
transparent.
Photoshop,
Uh huh.
and I would have a layer on top of the line art, and
Well, that's what I have. I have a
um,
layer on top of the line art right now.
yeah, why don't you just color it a color? It's just, what is it? The mode is a screen right now.
Yeah, it's under screen. Yeah.
Why don't you make it? What happens if you make it just normal?
Normal. Yeah.
If I make it normal, then this is what it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, that's not so bad.
no. What you do is you have to have in Photoshop. You know how like in Photoshop you have the layer. You can basically link a layer, not link, but
Uh huh.
basically make it so whatever you're drawing on that layer only affects the layer right underneath it.
Yeah.
So that's what you'd have to do, is so that the color is only going on the line art.
Right. This is essentially. I mean, this is essentially what I'm doing. This is what I'm only coloring on the line art. I'm not doing anything on the.
Yeah, but it's doing it as a screen where you could do it where it was the exact color, and it is the exact color. I wish I could share my screen.
I think what you're talking about is probably an easier way of doing it, but I can't understand the steps needed to get to that. Because then you're coloring over the lines, right? And you're basically creating, instead of a black line, a blue line or a red line, and that's so how do we do that? You want to give that secret away?
Is it gonna make your brain hurt?
It's let me open my Photoshop and then I'll just figure out the terms.
So,
My brain hurts.
Because like
so I
even
think
this
your work
first.
this must be pretty hard, because at some point, I remember about 10 years ago, you used to have like a really like a thicker line,
Yep.
and then you determined like, well, I think the new look now is super thin lines, and then you switch to this really really thin line that's like really hard to color, because
Speak for
I mean the
yourself.
cost us to draw, yeah. But are you still into the thin line, or?
I think the thin line. I mean, it's manga is all thin lines, right? So I do think that.
Right.
Okay, if I'm in Photoshop and I go and I have a layer on top of my line art layer,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually call it like light or whatever,
Right.
and then I'll hold the Option key while I'm on that
Uh-huh.
layer, and then I tap down and it creates a clipping mask so that it will only affect the layer right underneath it,
Okay.
and I can just color it whatever color I want. It doesn't have to be like and then I could make it light, or it could be so basically that layer could be normal, or it could be screen, or it could be light, or whatever you want, but because it's only going to affect like when you turned off the screen and made it normal before, how it
Mhm.
went over all the colors, like
Yeah.
that wouldn't happen because it creates a clipping mask
Well, see.
on top of the layer.
Okay. They have a clipping mask option in Procreate,
Wow, that's probably
but that
I
only
mean,
does this. Where
I'm gonna try it. You could try it.
yeah, maybe it'll work. Maybe it works in Photoshop and not Procreate.
Yeah.
But what you have on now is not working.
Yeah. I mean, the screen is what I found works, but
Yeah.
it just takes a while. And then again, if I happen to go over an area, I have to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
That was something was never done in the past, which is like you either have like a black ink line or no ink line. But these days, you can make the ink line like sepia tone or whatever, and it seems like it's one of those things that when you're able to do it, then everyone does it, and maybe like Kirby never did that, and so do you think it's something that people should be doing, or you don't have to do it?
I think it gives it a different look, and it gives it a little bit more of an animated look. It gives it a little bit more of a painted look. The black line, like again, if we don't have the black line holding, right, this is what you're gonna see. But when you do colorize the line, let's say it's not as harsh. Again, this is the screen that you're looking at. It does give it a softer feel, a little bit more of a painted feel.
It's good on the face. I mean,
Right, it's good on the
just
face,
to make the nose so it's not like made up of black lines.
Right.
It's more like a flesh colored line.
So I think on face
But,
and
you know,
clothing, but
Alex Toth never did that. Use that.
but the tech stuff is a different. Tech stuff might be a little bit different.
I posted a screen cap of my layers on in the Beavis General channel. If anybody wants to see the if you see the light layer on top of the ink has a little like arrow pointing down, showing that there's a mask on the layer underneath it.
Yeah, I never learned that. That's next level Photoshop foo.
There's so much stuff that I'm not even remotely learning because Photoshop has, advanced so much over the years. I've been messing around with Photoshop for 25 years or whatever, and it's got so much stuff that I'm not even tapping
Yeah,
into.
well, it seems like it can do like 1,000 things, but you can get by just knowing 5 tools, and that's fine.
It's not good enough, Sean. Not for me.
He always says that because he has all the ladies helping him.
I have the North Carolina villages.
Well,
Yeah.
in the old days when comic books were colored, there were the ladies that did, the people that did the color separations were all ladies, or mostly ladies.
Yeah. Like in Disneyland, like the artists are mostly men that draw in pencil, and then it will get to the inking pool, and those are all ladies who are inking it. And then at some point, the artist said, like, "Oh, I don't like these people like changing my art." So that guy, Ub Iwerks, worked with the Xerox Corporation to find a way to Xerox the pencil and just darken it, and they were able to fire thousands of women.
Jesus
It must have
Christ.
felt great,
Yeah, Marvel did that same thing.
Yes. Got rid of inkers. A whole discipline
Yeah.
just disappears in one generation.
And now they're back, and the only guys who sort of know how to do it are Scott Hanna, and now everything's suffering.
Oof. I don't know. Overall, Tommy, do you have any color choices that you would make in this that would?
No, it's very hard to see. Can you see what we're seeing on Twitch?
A little bit. It's like very fuzzy, I think.
You gotta
Yeah.
change the color of the speed lines, man.
What color would you say
Black
the speed lines are?
Area.
Just like if you're gonna leave the background that like blue,
Yeah.
make it like a navy blue or something. But don't leave it black. It's too
I would make, if you do,
Just
blue leaning towards purple.
yeah.
Oh, you mean the speed lines? Okay, let me try that. Hold on. I was gonna put
just-
shapes in
I
there
feel like
to
it's
indicate
competing
buildings.
too much with the character.
Well, it's because the darkest value pushes forward, comes towards the camera.
Okay.
And so, that's why that's happening, Jerry's. The black on the edges is now coming right
Yeah.
at us and overshadowing, like
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the
worse
background.
than anything else,
So use the line art, make
highest
it
contrast.
make it a purple.
Yeah, better already.
All right.
I like those buildings you just drew in there.
And I want to blur them so there's like you know, a little bit of a speed.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it feels like a zoomed radio blur. Let me see. How do I do that? There's a blur option in. There's no radio blur in perspective blur.
Yeah, there's more stuff that they didn't ever use in comics before, like the blur tool.
Okay. And then how does this work? There. Oh, there. Look at that. Can you guys see that?
Did it happen? Did it work?
It blurs it a little bit. Yeah.
Is that like a Gaussian blur you're trying to put over?
It's a zoom perspective blur.
Oh, I see. I see. Beef Skellington just put in something that makes a lot of sense. It's because the line art, the line art's not on its own layer. There's also the white because it's a scan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, he posted a example of the Procreate version of a clipping mask.
Oh, because the Procreate is usually just black. There's no white background. Yeah. Okay.
So a one way to fix that would be to have your line art as a multiple layer.
Oh, let me see if I multiplied that. Okay. Okay. Wait. Wait.
Why do they call it multiplies? It's a horrible name.
No, it's still giving me this. No, but we're close. We're close. I can see the lines. We're getting close. This is normal, but clipping mask, but it's close. But because there's white, so how do I in the line art? How do I get rid of the white? Can I do that? So
I know how to do it in Photoshop. I have no idea how to do it on here.
Shit, I'm learning something on my own stream. This is like super meta. The chat has become the master. Has become the sensei, the shifu. Holy cow! Look at that.
Wait, I don't get it.
It does do it though. Somehow, again, this will work if it was in. Wow. Okay, let me open up another file to do this in.
If the line art is a multiply and then it's on top of the flat colors are underneath it.
Right.
And then you have and then the what you want to have colored line art is in a layer on top of it as a clipping mask.
Yes.
It might work.
Okay, let me try it.
I'm not sure.
Your layer game is strong.
Oh, it does work. It works. Look on Ultra Humanite.
Right on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, great.
But now if I do...
How is that layer, what mode is that layer that you're drawing on right now?
Normal.
Great. Cool.
But then
I would think
if
Beef
I
Skeleton
color...
just won the date with Courtney, didn't he?
If I color it, this has to be multiply. So now the colors have to go underneath.
Yeah, but right now, yeah, there you go. The thing is, though, it's going to be a multiply, so it's going to kind of affect... Yeah, it's going to basically going to lighten the...
So then we're back to square one.
Kind of. You know, it sort of is going to be acting sort of like a screen.
Okay, so we're back to square one then. All right, Beef is fired.
So you just got to figure out how how to get rid of the white, and I know how to do it in Photoshop, but there's got to be a way to turn your black line into a transparency. But this is another way to do it, though. It's not another good way to do it is you don't have to do a screen if you don't want.
Well, I guess it still works.
Yeah.
Let me do another. Let me do another. I'm covering some stuff here that you're not supposed to see.
That Wolverine T-shirt.
Did someone just send me something?
I did.
Okay, this is all right. This one I think. What did you send me, Courtney?
It's an old picture I found.
Okay. This one. Let's see.
I'm just sitting here shopping online for used Kamen Rider toys.
Yeah, you've been on the Kamen Rider kick recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one. There was this one figure of the Shocker Kamen Rider, which was like the bad guy Kamen Rider towards the end of the first series, and I could only find the toy for like $130, and then I found some guy on eBay had it for $27 in Florida.
Oh.
And because it was like used and like like not in the box and shit. I don't care about that. I'm gonna open it up anyway. So yeah, it was a score.
What about like old posters, like the old movie posters and stuff?
There's
Do you
not
like
a lot
them?
of some of that stuff's so great. I have
Yeah.
some of those things.
It'll be good for to decorate your new garage.
Yeah, I actually got a really cool, a big tapestry of like the Kamen Rider, the Motorcycle Club banner is on a tapestry, and then I have
Oh.
the Ultraman science team, the SSSB or MAT like symbol on a big flag. So remember the nerdiest garage ever. I've got a couple Speed Racer prints in there, it's like that kind of stuff. Man,
Yeah.
I watched Speed Racer again, the live action movie, like a week ago. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and man, I love that movie.
People are very polarized with that. But you're in good company, though. I think I forgot who was saying that they really, really liked it, but it might have been like Ridley Scott.
Didn't he direct it or something?
The Wachowskis directed it.
Oh, my bad.
There's some failures in the movie. There's a weird like the corporate stuff in it. They try and make it like, there's this whole storyline about how the racing is all rigged and it's all about business and manipulating stocks and all this stuff. And I'm just imagining every kid in the audience like, what the fuck are they talking
Manipulating
about?
stocks. What's that?
Yeah, and that's the only thing that kind of it doesn't work, because everything else, there's so much heart in it. I literally, like, every time I watch it I get choked up at the family stuff in it. It's so well done. It's really one of the best family movies I think ever made.
Ever made? Even better than Goonies?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Whoa.
Oh,
Because
we might have to put Tommy on mute.
Goonies isn't like really about family stuff. It's more like about friends.
True.
This is more about like parents and letting their kids go and being proud of them and who they're becoming and stuff, and how to work together to
And Racer X.
And Pet
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yes, and Candy.
Yeah. And Chim Chim is bridal.
Damn
Yep.
champ.
All right, I think we should get out of here. We've been on for like 2 hours. 2.5 hours, yeah. Next week, I'm not sure if we're gonna stream next week. The week after, definitely. Jerry, what's up for Battle of the Sketches next week?
Zodak from Masters Universe. The last week for Masters of the Universe.
Oh, so there's still a few weeks left, huh?
Yeah.
It's
and
okay,
then,
right?
and
It's
then
still
May.
April.
Yeah.
All right.
May is.
Oh, I saw that cool video of Bernard video of going to the South Africa show.
Cape Town.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you really amped up your energy level.
Well, I'm not usually like that.
You were there.
Hey,
Back in
what
the
is
car.
that word for friends that you use?
Friende. How do you say it again? Vrinde. No, it spells with a V,
This is
but
Bernard
it's
Chang.
Vrinde. Hey, Vrinde.
Hey, Bernard Chang, and he's like pointing at the camera, all like WWE style, you know.
That's
I see.
Afrikaans.
It was very slick production. Did you do that yourself?
Yeah.
Like so you know all that production stuff, video editing stuff.
Well, it's iMovie. You know, iMovie
Can't
you
you
can
tell
make.
from the quality of these streams that Bernard knows what he's doing?
He
iMovie
even
you
had
can
like
make.
the Raiders of the Lost Ark, that airplane traveling across the
Oh, that
map
was the
thing.
most difficult thing. But iMovies, you can make trailers on iMovie on your phone, and then they have all these different. There's like 12 or 16 different trailers that you can make. You can make like a romantic rom-com. You can make an action flick.
Wow.
So it comes with the music and the scenes,
That's
and with the text, right? You can change all the text to whatever you want.
Okay.
But
So what was that decision to put the frying pan in your luggage?
well, so I was trying to figure out for the longest time. I had to make this contractually. I have to make a video saying that I'm going to Cape Town or Comic-Con Cape Town, and so I'm thinking like, what can I do? Because I did one for the Seoul Comic-Con a few years ago, but then all I did for that one was I just spliced in some action shots from a basketball game that I played the week before, and then some food pics. And then this time I was thinking, okay, what can I do? I was gonna do a drawing, but I was like, so I ended up thinking, okay, maybe I'm packing for the show, right? What can I bring? And then I was thinking, it has to be kind of funny, kind of goofy. So is the what can you pack that's kind of stupid that you know would be purposely stupid, right? So was the frying pan, and there was other stuff in there. There's a girls' soccer trophy. Actually, from Jerry's favorite TV show, New Girl.
Terrible.
That show is awesome.
Coolidge Middle School, and what else? Yeah, so there's like stupid stuff in there. There's like a bag of popcorn, some clothes.
You know, popcorn is very offensive in South Africa.
Is it?
You should know what that means. Yeah, it's like a big FU.
Oh, really?
It's extremely racist.
The word
Yeah, there's a
popcorn?
lot of people talking about that online.
Wait, you guys are not kidding?
No, we're kidding.
Huh?
I used to burn people in
Popcorn.
tires, so I don't know about that.
Um,
Right.
the most difficult part was the trip, the iTunes. Let me see if I can pull it up on my computer, and I'll show you guys. We're extending the stream.
Yeah, the part where you swinging with the monkeys, like is the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark Christmas whole thing.
iMovie, here it is. All right. Let's see if the iMovie
Frying
comes
pans
up.
are very offensive in South Africa.
Is it?
It's a good thing you didn't put any like savages in there, like chasing after you, like
We're definitely gonna have
Like in
to.
like
Throw me the trophy. I throw you the whip.
Show me the original art. And,
You might have to delete this stream.
yeah, you should do like a Johnny Quest opening. It's great.
Oh yeah, Johnny Quest.
With those savages.
Oh my God.
What is the? Maybe it's just on the iPhone. Maybe it's just on the iPhone.
I'm imagining Bernard running from all these guys with frying pans.
Oh my God.
So stupid.
Fletch came on.
Is
What?
Fletch here?
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing?
Where are you? Because that is very clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good connection.
What's up with that? Did you pay your bill?
It doesn't have a good connection.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh, spoke too soon.
Courtney spoke too soon.
Sorry. I was excited.
And did I drop out again?
Yeah.
Anyways, iTunes has like option where you can basically compose photos from your phone or videos and basically just slot them in. So the only thing I had to do was the map where it goes from like the US to over, technically it's over Europe. The iMovie option goes the other way. It goes from Europe to the US. So I had to save that file, create a movie from that, and then reverse it and then plop it back into the timeline.
Wow,
Well, so yeah,
that's cool. And you did all that on your phone?
I did that. Well, actually, I did most of it on the phone, and then I imported it onto the exported onto the tabletop desktop.
We're gonna see this or what?
Huh?
You haven't seen it?
You just gonna explain it to us, or we're gonna watch?
You haven't seen it, but there's no audio. You can't
I've
see the
seen it.
audio.
You sent it to me before. Come on.
You won't be able to see the audio. All right, that's
Well,
right. We should
Tommy will make do the audio.
Yeah, we'll all
Yeah.
voice it. Courtney can be Bernard.
And Tommy will sing the Johnny
Yeah.
Quest.
Wait, what are we doing?
Me
Fine.
and Shauna will sing "Anything Goes."
I'll
Okay.
be the savages with the swords and the
Anything
shields.
goes.
I want to be the savage. I'm the white one here.
Here it is.
Good service here.
Hey, Fritas.
Hey, Fritas.
we're only getting-
Fritas. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
We're not. Oh yeah, you got yeah.
Zip.
Okay. All right. Zip. Here we go.
We
Oonga,
can't
oonga,
narrate it
oonga,
because
oonga,
it's,
oonga,
because it's
oonga.
all out of sync.
See, there's a
Go get him, Dr. Jones.
there's a plug for see the girls soccer trophy
I don't believe in that mumbo jumbo.
and the flask.
Ooh.
Hooba.
And then there's a pan. Do you guys know what biltong is?
No.
That's like the South African version of beef jerky. It's really good.
But it's the
Obscure
tongue of a
reference.
guy named Bill. Hey, those are your shoes.
Oh, it's getting romantic in there.
Mm-mm.
And all your
My
promos
name is
involve your
Bernard
car.
Chang, and I'll be going to Cape Town. I hope to see you all there with me. It's gonna be a blast.
Do you suffer from ED?
Are you having problems getting an erection in bed?
Are you having trouble fitting your case? Forgetting your underwear in parking lots?
Look at that. It's a production
So
value.
cool. I thought you like hired a whole team. To
Yeah,
make-
that's
Huh? No, man, you did it all on my phone.
He's packing all right.
So that's the video. Yeah. So this thing, this one, I had to reverse it and then drop it back in.
and then do the text on top of it.
Right. No, the text was already there. I just had to reverse it. Anyways.
Oh, you reversed the animation.
Right.
Okay. I was like, but you
How
know,
can you do all that and you can't get the audio right on this goddamn stream?
The audio has to be. I need to open another audio channel on Discord.
Why can't I get my audio right?
So that only took you 2 days.
Yeah, it took 1 day. It
It-
took 1 day.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's like when Bernard would spend like an entire week like photoshopping us into silly situations. You know?
Can you bring that back? I want to see that.
Let me see. Let me see on my phone if it'll pull up.
These photoshopping poses of me sleeping, shooting baskets.
Yeah. We was just waste so many days just doing that back and forth, just trying to make each other laugh. And
Yes.
like, man,
Yeah.
we got work to do. We're all working artists at the time.
I think it was on the phone. Wait, now I forget how. Now I forgot how I do it. How I did it.
Hey, you did what?
How I created the trailers.
Oh. It doesn't matter. We can do a whole podcast on that next time.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's get out of here. 2.5 hours. I gotta go back to that Spider-Man commission.
Justin.
Oh, God.
Fletch just got here.
Fletch just got here.
Fletch, are you back home now?
I am. I'm in LA.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Well-
coming to LA in a few weeks.
All right. Yeah. I may be out of town, not because you're coming here, but
Nice.
I'm traveling somewhat in next month.
Cool. Well, I'll talk to you. We'll see what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
All right. Anything
Let me-
else? Jerry, you got anything you want to add?
No.
No? Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Billy Asa's here. Good night. Happy holidays, Nico Blue. Yojimbo, thank you, Yojimbo. K-Pop Junkie. Dungdu didn't show up today, huh?
So sad.
Thanks for watching. Let's raid somebody. Gotta remember to raid. Whoops.
Ray.
Who should be raid? Anybody have a suggestion on who we should raid? Amaranth?
Amaranth.
Well, Alpi Victor Alpi.
Who?
Are we following? Oh, that's the guy you raided last time, right?
Anybody got any suggestions?
Goku show 2. James Cole mentioned one.
James Quo says
Oh,
who?
they're showing Kamen Rider.
Toku? Okay. Toku what? Toku Shotsu. Alright. There we go. Tommy's gonna stay on.
Hey now.
Are they showing the old version or the new one?
Oh, the old one.
Okay. Happy holidays, everybody.
I
Bye.
See you next week.
Oh, this is the crappy Kamen Rider.
Is it like
This is-
the one?